We're having a baptism on the first Sunday of Lent, which always is the temptations of Jesus. And normally we talk on the first Sunday of Lent about Jesus and his temptations. But I want to talk a little bit about our baptism and our temptations. From the beginning of the baptism, you have, "This is my beloved Son, whom I'm well pleased." And immediately Jesus goes out to the desert and is tempted by the devil. And the temptations are for food, for if you're the Son of God, you'll not be hurt by anything. And the third temptation is about what we choose to worship in this world. This is not hocus pocus. The waters of baptism do not protect us from the evils of the world. People get hurt in our world, lest your foot dash against the stone. People go hungry in our world. And we know we live in a world where people worship all kinds of things. Whether that is silly imaginations of our mind, or power, or money, or whatever. So what does it mean to be baptized? The scriptures, by the way, have always struggled with why Jesus would be baptized. For he who knew no sin doesn't need to come to the waters of baptism for his sins to be washed away. And essentially, the scriptures and tradition come up with this answer. That Jesus chose to come to the waters of our lives and be submerged with us. But his choice of going into the waters is to be in the water with us. Or, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. The idea that Jesus comes to us so that we may have life. And what we claim when we go into the waters of baptism is that the heavens open up and God declares that we too are part of the beloved of God. The last statement in baptism is, "Holy child, see what love the Father has given us, that we should be called children of God." And that is what we are. That comes from 1 John. You want to know the scripture. But we declare in baptism that the infant or the adult is claimed by God. And whatever happens after that child comes through the waters of baptism, God's claim is upon us. The baptism language in church's liturgy follows us all our lives. For instance, when one is ordained, you renew your baptismal vows. Or at the funeral, we say the person's baptism is now complete in their death. Or at the wedding, we say what that is doing is connected to the vows of baptism. That God chose two people to become one. In some respects, it's all religious, mystical language. In other respects, to live life that God has a claim on us is not a small thing at all. And whether we choose to delight in that claim or try to ignore that claim, the claim is there. To know that we are beloved by God gives us a way to deal with all the struggles of life, in good times and in bad. I am beloved by God. And it's more than that. It's not only a claim of God's claim on us, but in baptism, we carry a claim on each other. That we, as a community of faith, will try to live life faithfully together. To try to make this world a better place. To try to live a life worthy of the kingdom of heaven. And it starts with going down in the water with Jesus. To be changed by the claim of God. That's another way to say that. We make claims on all our loved ones. They are ours. They belong to us. And those claims of love changes both the one being loved and the lover themselves. God's claim is a claim of love that will change us and does change us. So as we come to the baptism, by the way, when we come to communion, many members of the congregation touch the water before taking the communion. What they're doing is remembering the claim by touching the water of baptism. The other thing to say, in a broad sense, is the church, in the midst of its incredible amount of diversity and fighting and breaking and saying you're not one of us, etc., has never claimed that the water of baptism belongs to any one denomination of belief. They've always recognized the broad claim that the water of baptism belongs to God. And so it should. Let us pray. As we come to the waters, restore, wash, cleanse, and claim us all. We ask this in the name of the one who came in the water with us, Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.